I realized that I've shared a lot of personal information with you guys. Like, I was thinking back on the prom night video, I seriously cannot believe that I told you guys that story. Most of you guys have probably seen the title before you start watching the video, and you're probably thinking, Swoozy, I came here to laugh. I didn't come here to think about suicide. I've been meaning to talk about this topic for the last 2 years, and it's long overdue time that I do so. I might have tried suicide once or twice. I'm just gonna put myself out there, okay? Right on the chopping block, let's go. My mom took away my Super Nintendo. I was gonna lay down in front of the front door and hold my breath until I died. That's how I saw it in my head. She'd come home and open the front door, and there would be my lifeless body, and I'd have a little suicide note next to me like, you did this! Yeah, I tried, but I couldn't ever do it. I'd always start breathing. I'm sure some of you guys have tried that too, holding your breath until you passed out. We never chose life, but life is full of choices. It's quite an interesting parallel. So let me tell you real quick about my boy Taiku. So he was coming up in the DOA scene. He was starting to compete, he was starting to travel. I interviewed him on DOAcentral.com, put him on the front page. He was starting to make a name for himself. One night, he went and got all strung out on drugs apparently, climbed up a tower, jumped off, killed himself. Drugs is another topic I want to talk about at some point, but that's much later on down the line. Some of you guys might be thinking, Swoozy, I'm not a suicidal person, I don't have suicidal thoughts, this video is probably not going to apply to me. Stay with me. One of the things I didn't know about suicide is I always thought it was, okay, 1 minute you're here, next minute you're gone. I had a friend of mine become a cop, and on his first day, he had to respond to a suicide. He gets to the scene, it was a fight between a boyfriend and girlfriend, the guy took a shotgun, walked outside, put the gun in his mouth and pulled the trigger. So he gets there, and the guy's laying on the sidewalk, and this is first day, he has no idea what he's doing. He got there about 30 or 40 minutes after they had gotten the call. So he's standing over the body making sure nobody comes around or messes or tampers with him. And about 10 minutes after he got there, the guy goes and starts gasping for air. About an hour after he pulled the trigger. Also with jumping off of high places. There was this kid I went to high school with who got made fun of a lot, unfortunately, and he jumped off the top floor of the hospital. Practically broke every bone in his body, but didn't die until the next day. So it's not like how you see in the movies where, you know, a person takes a bunch of pills and then you see the shot where the hand falls into the frame and the pills roll out all nice and gracefully. It's not always as peaceful and as painless as that. Life is a series of choices, and I made up my mind that I'm gonna be happy. So if so-and-so doesn't call or text me back, guess what? I'm gonna be happy. We choose to get out of bed, we choose to be happy, we choose to be angry, we choose to... Whoa. What do you mean, Swooze? We choose to be angry? Nobody in their right mind chooses to be angry. Slow down. You have that anger in you, you just choose to let it out. No, I'm a very happy person. It's what's their face over there, they be running their mouth, talking behind my back, and I'm gonna punch them in the forehead because they be tripping. Let me ask you guys this. Have any of you ever made tea? Probably not. What you do is you take a little tea bag, you put it in a cup, and you add hot water. The tea that gets made is already in that bag. That guy or girl that's all up in your business talking behind your back, they didn't make you angry. They just gave you a situation to let that anger out. The only people that have the true power to make you angry is a cell phone provider, is more specifically AT&T. You get that phone bill for $400 or $500, and I know you've been there. That's the only exception. You're okay to get mad at that point. JK, but seriously. You guys like stories, right? Okay, so I'll close with a story. There's this guy that I know. He was head over heels in love with this one girl. This guy and this girl, it was a high school thing. It didn't go so well. This guy was out one night, picking up his friend from work and then dropping his friend off. As he dropped his friend off, he found out about things between him and that girl not gonna work out, and he also found out there was another guy involved. Let's just say this guy didn't take it so well. And after he dropped his friend off, just started to become more and more enraged at the thought of not being able to live without this girl. So the longer he drove, the less and less he cared. And it got to the point to where he started running every red light that he came to. Just didn't care. Speed limit is 55, dude drove like 70 or 80 all the way home. Dude sped up into his driveway, jumped out, kicked open the door, threw his keys. This kid felt so lied to, so betrayed, so inadequate, looked at himself in the mirror, wasn't a good situation. This dude was ready to punch through a brick wall. Then he remembered he had a firearm in the house. He goes to said firearm. So this high school kid is now looking down this barrel, and he is so enraged that he does not remember anything after that. The next thing he does remember is waking up the next morning on his bedroom floor. So the kid wakes up and he decides, you know what? I'm gonna do something with my life. Starts going to church, starts reading his Bible, starts praying, and some really awesome stuff starts happening for him. He ends up on TV. Girls start emailing him from Japan, from Croatia, from the Netherlands, from Australia, from all over. Just love letters. And something tells me that this kid has a lot more awesome opportunities coming at him. This kid almost did something really stupid over a girl, and there's thousands more out there. So that's what I'm gonna say to you guys. Whether it be girl problems, whether it be work problems, whether it be whatever the case is, when you think there's no light at the end of the tunnel, or there's no way out of your situation, let me tell you, you're probably wrong. I don't know you guys' individual problems and struggles, but I will say this. If you ever get to that low, please remember, suicide is a permanent answer to a temporary problem. You're here for a reason. That's what I believe. So, get busy.